Alright, answers. Let's begin.
Generation James asks, are you going to do a stop-motion series? Well, I'd love to. I've been puzzling out for years how I want to do it, but I've never really gotten around to it. I'm sure you've all noticed the frankly crap quality of my stop-motion segments here and there, and that's mainly because my camera doesn't have manual focus. But I am looking into getting another camera, so we'll see what happens after that. Shade 2800 says, congrats! Aw, thank you. What was your first Bionicle set? This is actually a little weird because I had two first sets that were purchased at the same time, being Tahu Nuva and Gali Nuva. Notorious LEP asks, which video games do you play? Well, I'm glad you asked because my top 10 video is not at all representative of what I'm actually playing right now. Right now, most of what I'm playing is Guild Wars 2 because my friends play it and it's free. For the time being, I have put off playing Hyper Light Drifter, even though it's a really great game, I just never feel like playing it. And quickly becoming one of my go-to games is actually Super Smash Flash 2, a Smash Bros. Fan game that's been really successful and really has a lot of cool characters. Xanton says, congrats on 500 subs. Okay, so thoughts on metal music? If you like it, what's your favorite band? Mine is Sabaton. Also, do you think we need more CCBS orange, purple, and teal turquoise? Happy face. Well, metal music isn't my favorite, but it is among my favorites. But as far as bands go, I couldn't even name any off the top of my head. But I can tell you that I really enjoy the metal covers by Richad EB. And dude, CCBS, we'll be lucky if we get any more after the Star Wars figures kick the bucket. Except for the Hulkbuster. That thing's getting remade every year until the end of time. El Chronista Sentech asks, congratulations for the 500 sub. These are my question. Which mock is your favorite in terms of history, and which is your favorite in terms built? I'm gonna have to guess by history you meant story, so I guess my favorite in terms of story would be probably Velzy's, since I'm really proud of her story and I'm probably not gonna change it anytime soon, especially since I put it so well together in the last video with her in it. My favorite in terms built is Omni, by far. I have spent actual years on that mock, and while I'm not super proud of how she appeared in the last video, I did make a few updates that have not been seen, and the shaping is godly. When nightmares become true. Said, first of all, I would like to say that I love your content and your mocks are spectacular. Hey, thanks man. 1. What does your mock collection look like? Well, take a gander. 2. What does your G1 collection look like? First of all, I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure I don't have a collection dedicated to G1. I've got like 2 old sets put together right now. The rest is just scrapped. 3. Have you heard of TTV's Bionicle G3 pitch? If no, check it out. Well, yeah, I followed it for a while, but ultimately it doesn't really amount to anything, so I'm not too interested. 4. What do you think of the MCU? It's cool, it's good, I like it, but what I do think is that it essentially amounts to this generation's Star Wars. Meanwhile, the actual Star Wars is somewhat wishy-washy and just meh. 5. What TV shows do you watch? I don't watch TV. I just watch YouTube. Lots of YouTube. 6. What other hobbies do you have? Let's see. Outside of anything Bionicle related, I'm a real big fan of drawing. I play a bit of piano even though I'm trash at it. I like to read webcomics during a blue moon when they update. And I play Dungeons & Dragons and Magic the Gathering with my friends on a weekly basis. AJ Rue asks, what materials do you use when recoloring/painting pieces? Because that mask looks amazing. Yes it does. Mainly what I use is those little acrylic paint tube/capsule things that you get in craft stores. Although I should probably use some sort of primer, but I don't usually. And then that's usually good, but if I'm not quite liking the result, I might end up putting on some clear coat. But Sharpies, man. Don't forget about the Sharpies. Sharpies are your friend. Don't do that. Says, oh, I have one. Bug chicks, my guy. Bug chicks. You mean like this? But no, can you really give us a teaser for
Despacito 4?
And what got you into Lego and mocking? Well, you see, that was supposed to be just a throwaway joke, but it seems you give me no choice. Alright, with that behind us, I believe I got into Lego from seeing it in commercials and in stores. Care of the Burning says, congratulations! 1. Heresy detected. Yes, that was a little meme image I made to use on Discord. I wanted to use the original without the text, but I could not find it, so that's what you got in the first video. 2. What do you think of Red Star Games' Dora Nai Nui? Well, that certainly is a fan project with some substance behind it, so I am following that to a certain extent. I am a real big fan of Dungeons & Dragons, so obviously I really like it. Don't know when I'm gonna try it out, but I did buy one of their masks. It was the Noble Miru that I put in the Inaru slideshow towards the end. 3. How do you support others starting out BioTubers? Well, I don't. But at some point I would like to make a video shouting out smaller channels that I feel deserve more views. I don't think that's really gonna work out right now because I'm still a very small channel. Cheers! Mama Luigi099 asks, 1. Do you prefer to take apart sets to build your mocks, or do you just use extra pieces? At this point, it's all extra pieces. All of my sets were taken apart years ago, except for just a few that I put back together because I realized they didn't have any useful pieces. 2. What's your least favorite set? Well, I think my least favorite set would probably have to be Huki Mari. It's just so ugly. He's missing a hand, he's got mismatched arms, mismatched armor, he's got a completely unusable mask. Yeah, it's just disgusting. 3. What's your favorite piece to use in mocks? Slizer Throwbot Feet. Easy. Storm Seraph says, congrats, man. Not a question, but I appreciate it. Karudo0 asks, 1. Why is Inaru purple? 2. What was he like before you started BioTube? Well, Inaru is purple because it's my favorite color. And that was perfect, since purple was the gravity color, and gravity is a kind of out there, lesser known power that's not really that popular. As for what he was like before BioTube, well, just imagine him in my first video, except without the Pikaris as pauldrons, and there was a little less purple on the knees. Basically that. That was right before BioTube, though. If we're gonna get earlier than that, I think that's another video in itself. Nether Evipero Bricks Bionicle asks, 1. Are you going to Brick Fair Virginia 2019? I don't think so. I'm actually on the other side of the country and it's not really worth the trip. Sorry. 2. Will you ever do stop motion stuff in the future? Well, I'm looking at it and I'll see if I can. It's a goal. 3. Do you watch Dragon Axe films? Let's just say, if it's a well-known BioTuber, just assume I've watched it. If they're smaller guys like me, it's a maybe. 4. Are you a Christian? Yes. 5. Which is better in your opinion, G1 parts, Technic parts, or CCBS parts? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd have to say G1 just because that's what my mocks are mostly composed of. I couldn't really manage my style without CCBS, but it would mostly be there if I only had G1, I'd say. 6. What got you into Bionicle? Well, I think I answered this already, but it was commercials. Definitely commercials. 7. What is you Self-Mock's backstory? Oof, that's a tough one. I can never really decide on the details, but I have decided one thing, that he did get his mask from Domic. He's Matorn in the Matanui Online game. You can find him in Onu Koro sporting that same purple Miru. Aside from that, all I really have is his personality, which he's basically Batman or Ragnar the Blood Edge, and he's a really nice guy if you get to know him, but until then, he's the edgelord that's gonna kick your butt. Megala Dan asks, following the trend of mocks based on music, have you ever thought of basing a mock off the Mega Man X franchise? Never once have I thought of that, but it is a good idea. I think it would probably be pretty hard considering my usual, aesthetic being pretty, greebly, whereas Mega Man X is, like, really clean and smooth most of the time. Oh, why am I doing this? Sither asks,
What's your favorite hentai?
Oh, we're going there, are we? Well, I guess there's not any other choice. But the world's greatest anime of all time, Corey in the house! Quartz Rules asks, what is your favorite cartoon anime/mango? Crap, we did this joke already. Zatch Bell! It's a good one, watch it! Where does the name Anaru originate? Well, right there. Why you, perp? Do you love me?
Oh, yes.
Mellow Cello asks, questions. What was your inspiration for Anaru? Domek. Who was your inspiration for making YouTube videos? Probably Shadow Gear 6335, since he made these reviews look so easy. That's probably what gave me the confidence to start my reviews in the first place. Will you check out my channel? Sorry if that is a bad question. Well, sure, it's not like you're asking for a shout out or free subs, so why not? I'll take a gander. Samurai Bry asks, where do you get your inspiration from when building your mocks? A lot of my inspiration comes from the card game Magic the Gathering, a little bit from Dungeons & Dragons, there's a few that were just inspired by characters I've drawn, but most of the time it's just, I want to make something light green. What pieces do I have in that color? Alright, let's go for it. Ben Harvey asks, 2 questions. Would you call yourself a mocker or a mockist? I think I'll go with mocker, since mockist sounds a little bit pretentious, I guess. Also, would you consider doing a series similar to BIS or TTV Mock Spotlight, where people can request that you review other people's mocks? Well, I'll certainly consider it. Sounds like a good idea. If I start getting a lot of requests, that would certainly sway me. Hammy Man and the Storm Named Storm asked 2 questions that were already put forth, so we're just gonna skip those real quick. Master Riker asks, GG, what's your favorite movies? My favorite movie is the Lego Movie. It's just that good. Chrono Sapien asks, awesome mocks! Thank you. And 1 question, if you had the chance and parts, would you make a Titan mock? Oh, just keep waiting a little longer. I've actually got 3 almost ready. 1 is complete, and I should be taking pictures pretty soon to do a slideshow. The other 2 need a paint job, so we'll see when that happens. So, Mercari Mox has a repeat question. Bionic TB asks, am I too late? Well, you are now. Would have been fine if you asked then. Not Yours asks, firstly, love your mocks. They look great. Thank you. And now for questions. Question, how do you feel about using legal/illegal building techniques? Well, personally, I think if you're one of those people that only uses legal techniques, you're missing out. There's a lot of effects you could achieve a lot easier if you just cut one piece or painted another. At the same time, I kind of feel like Little Brotherhood Studios goes a little too far in the other direction, so that's kind of What do you use as inspiration? Already answered that one. Do you actively play MTG? Every week, like I said. Question, are you human? Ah, crap, not one of these again. Mad Clan asks, have you heard the good word of our Lord and Savior Matanui? I told you Matoro's witnesses to leave me alone! Oh, man. Meep Just Meep 199 asks another question that was asked already, but he also asks, what do you think of Valve's games? Which is your favorite? Example, Half-Life, Team Fortress 2, Portal, Left 4 Dead, etc. Well, personally, none of those games really interest me. I never played them. but if I were to play one, it would probably be TF2 because I have a bunch of friends that keep bugging me to play with them. So yeah. Mellow Cello has another question. What software do you use, and could you make a video on how to make your videos? So mostly I just use Windows Movie Maker and Audacity, but with my recent top 10 video, I found that it was really helpful to use VSDC Free Video Editor and DaVinci Resolve, which are both free, by the way. You're welcome to check them out. Raptor Talon asks,
Why have you forsaken me?
Forsaken you? What? I would never...
Why?
Why what? What are you talking about?
Why?
What's going on?
Why?
Ah!